Alright guys, welcome back to Finish It Friday, episode 57. So let's go ahead and take out these pieces that we left off with on Wednesday. Let me put this over here so you can copy it down if you haven't already. Alright, so here's my base card, my layer, my strip, my different pieces here. So first we're going to concentrate on getting our card ready. Now I am going to go ahead, and since these are trees, I don't want to do them on their side because it'll look like they're falling down. So we are going to do this as a portrait card. Let's go ahead, grab out my glue. We're going to do a background on this. Now on this layer, you can stamp, you can emboss, you can leave blank, you can do kind of whatever you want to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lay down some leaves. Now these cutouts are from the Autumn Leaves die set, and I'm kind of coordinating with the colors I see here. So I see some crushed curry, a little bit of this Cajun craze, and then the early espresso and pecan pie. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go some off because we'll trim it down, of course. But let's just kind of get our groupings of 3 first. So here's this leaf. Oops, sorry. The more I hold it closer to me, the less you can see. So let's go ahead and go like that. I'm going to take a couple of these. Glue this down. Sorry, I had a bunch of nails that I trimmed way down, so now I have nothing to like even hang on to them with. All right, so let's get a couple of these going here. Now this is our green glue in a precision tip bottle. Let's see, let's do this one here. Because after I get these down and cut them off, then I'm going to go ahead and run them through an embossing folder. I'll show you that here in just a second. Let's put a couple of these little ones down just to fill in some areas here. I'm kind of keeping to this because I'm going to run my strip down the middle there. So let's just kind of go ahead and go like this. Let me balance a little bit this way, and let's call it a day. All right, so there's that. I'm going to take a pair. These are from just a really cheap pair of scissors from a craft store, because when you have glue on there, I don't want to use my snips and run the possibility of burning my snips. So all I'm doing is trimming off those overhang. Put that down here. Let's move the ones I didn't use over here a little bit. Sorry, my nose is just, whew. All right, and let's bring out our embossing folder. I want one with a very tight pattern. So I think I'm actually going to, we have a timber, which would probably look pretty cool, but I used it on another one. So maybe I'll use my Fern 3D. Because I have the crosshatch, I have the time worn. Ooh, I have falling leaves. No, let's use, I'm sorry, Leaf 3D. This is not showing up in your annual catalog. Sorry, that was pretty close. But it is on an online exclusive. It was carried over to that. So let me go ahead and let's see if I can get most of that in the embossing area. Maybe I'll go like this. I think I'll go like that. That way it just kind of looks like it's falling down that way too. All right, let me grab out this. Of course we need our platform 1 and our platform 4. Make sure you put the binding edge through first. Let's run this through. Ooh, that was loud. Sorry about that. Put it back over here on my side. Oops. All right. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. I don't like the fact, you know what? No, I'm not. I say these things and I don't do them. So let me bring this back around here. Probably should have used a different one. I am going to go ahead now and try to get some more of those leaf area right there. All right, so this might be difficult because now we already have some embossing on there. Let's see. That would take that corner. I think I'm going to go like this. Just so these areas, now you might have some double embossing there. Never done that before. We'll see what it looks like. Alright, now let's see what that looks like. Put this over here. Let me pick up my layers that fell down on the floor while I was doing that. Alright. Alright. A little bit better. We have some texture on there. We'll leave it like that. Alright. So now, make sure you have your cardstock the right way. We're going to take this and we're going to put this down the side here. Now, you kind of want to figure out where you want it to best go. I'm going to go like that. And what I do is, yes, you could make this a 4 1/4, but I like folding it under because I think that gives it just some natural give and take. So let's put a little glue there. Make sure that I have this straight on here. Let's put a little glue there. And then let's go ahead and lay it all down. I'm using the glue instead of the tear and tape. Oops, didn't move that very well. Just because I think since I ran this through twice, I've really broken down those fibers. And I don't want to run the risk of it ripping my layer. Alright, so there we have that. Let me put the block on here for a little while. Let's go over here to our layers. So remember we had, this is the 2.5 by 3.5. This was the 2 1/4 by 1.5. The 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. And then you'll notice that there's a 1 3/4 of all of these. And I'll show you why in a second. This is going to layer on here, but this is going to be your side to sides, and I'll show you what I mean here in a second. All right, let me grab my autumn leaves. Now, this is the cutout for that, so I may decide to use that instead of the 1-on-1. This is just going to be your focal point, or I'm sorry, your greeting, your sentiment. So let me go ahead. I'm going to use that and cut this down just a little bit. And I'm just going to try to go straight with this. And there's my little sentiment. A little crooked, but it's all right. All right, so now let's start layering with this. So you're going to have, sorry, I had to look at something here. So you're going to have, this layer is the same as this layer. Now, if I went on here, you're not going to see it's going to kind of blend in. So I like putting down a white layer. Probably would have been better if I had done that as a very vanilla layer, but we'll just leave it the way it is. This layer here, I'm actually, and you can do it whatever way you want. I'm actually going to rip this layer just a little bit. Let me show you. That works better. I like using my scissors to help rip. I'm putting my thumb there so I don't rip down too much, because you want it to rip down, but you don't want it to go in. Now, this is all subjective here, so when you go to your next layer, you may have to rip off more or less. It depends. I just think that the little sharpness, and I'm not using the blade of the scissors, I'm using the side of the scissors, but I think it just helps to tear that paper, especially when you don't have fingernails like me. It just seems to help guide and move it along. I went a little too deep on that one. All right, let's throw those away. We're going to layer that on that. First off, though, I think I want to kind of rough up the edge a little bit with my scissors again. Again, using the side, not using the blade. Just going to rough it up a little bit. This is going to give a little bit of that rough and tumble look that we associate with falling leaves. All right, so now let's go down. Oh, see, I like that a little bit better. It makes it a little less stark. All right, then we're going to take this. These are the two 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. Now you're going to see, depending on how much we tore off, we may have to trim these down a little. See how that's, I think that's going to be okay. I think, though, I do want to trim it down just a smidgen. So I'm going to take off 1/8 of an inch over here at my cutter. All right. So see, we're going to figure out how we want that to lay down. And then we're going to go ahead, put a little glue there, little glue on this edge. Figure out where we want that border to be. I think that looks pretty good right there. Before it dries completely, make sure that you have it down tight. So we have that. All right, and then you have this. Now see, now that I've cut that down, this is a little bigger still. So I'm going to go ahead, and you could use your trimmer. I'm just going to use the scissors I used that were glued. So there we have now that cut down just a little bit. And we're going to put, let's see, let's go ahead and put that color on there. And we're going to do it in copper clay, stamped off once. Oh, did you see that? I'm trying to use this like it's a reversible. It's not a reversible, folks. All right, let's clean up that edge. And let's put it down the right way. There we go. All right, let's try that again. If I had looked at it before I'd stamped down, I would have seen that it was all solid. Probably should have put down my piercing mat since it's a photopolymer stamp, but I didn't. All right, let's get this going now. Let's put a little glue on there and mount it. Put a little glue on here. Mount it on that. And put it on that white piece, which definitely would look better if it was vanilla. Okay. Let's go ahead. Oh, I really don't like the way that is. So you know what, I'm going to take, let me go ahead and grab, since I have my copper clay right here, let's go ahead and take some of that color off that lid. And I'm just going to brush it on that white. I just think that's way too stark. Gotta tone that down. And it might even been too bright if it had been the vanilla too, you know? Just little toning down that white just a little bit. We will leave this white in the middle the same though. Okay, looks much better. You could pop this up if you want. I'm just going to do everything flat. We already pay enough for postage without us adding another layer. Oh, and did you know that postage is going up again at the beginning of the year? All right, I'm going to center this like that. Give it a little chance to lay down. Go ahead and put this over here. I'm going to put it right in the corner so you see some of that leaf peeking through. And there you are. Get that lid on there. So there's our little card. I'm going to have to put that block on there to hold that down just a little bit more. But there you are. Let's bring it up so you can see it. There you go. Where did I get this idea from? All right, I found this. A Portfolio Series. I don't even know what year Stampin' Up! Released this. 2002. So I've had it for a while. So let's go to page 90. Now remember, everything in these books are copyrighted Stampin' Up! But that was my inspiration. Now here, it looks like they used a light blue cardstock, but you could always use a vellum layer too if you wanted to there. But that was my inspiration for the card. All right, let's show you a couple others I made. Didn't do a lot. It's been one of those weeks. Pull this out from over here. So here you go. Here's using that Timeless Charm set. There are different colors here too. Used a couple of those pearlized dots. And then here we used, oh shoot, I was going to, looks a little boring there. Didn't finish this one, sorry guys. Let me grab out my, take your pick tool. All right, probably not very straight. All right, there you go. Finish that one too. All right, so there you are. Now I can't get it back in the little packet. All right, there you are. So this one, we use that Timber embossing folder. This is from He's All That. This is from Go To Greetings. drug the edge of that through the stamp pad. So I got that nice little edge on that vanilla piece. And there you are. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. And we'll see you sometime this weekend for more stamping. Take care now. Bye.